Over the Rhine is the crown jewel of Cincinnati's Renaissance that catches the eyes and taste buds of people all over the country. But now that it's not a big secret anymore, development can be pricey. On the front page centerpiece this week, why making room for small developers is key to OTR's continued revival. You likely know about the big players, 3CDC, Model Group, and Urban Sites. They're the developers with deep pockets or the backing of the city and its major corporations, and often both. But maintaining OTR's one-of-a-kind character also means letting smaller developers get a foothold. One of those making waves is 8K Development Company. They've already transformed about 20 homes in Northside, and now they're moving into OTR.
I think what excites us the most about Over the Rhine is that there's still so much opportunity. There's, in a lot of ways, the neighborhood is developed, but it's still mostly a blank slate. So we think we can come down here and implement a great design and meet the needs of the community and create projects that'll be here for years to come.
They say patience and planning are key to breaking into one of the hottest neighborhoods in the country. Business Courier reporter Chris Wetterick wrote the story. He joins Business Courier editor Rob Dawmeyer in the studio.
Thanks very much, Chris. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Why were you interested in doing this story in the first place?
Well, you know, we've written a lot about what's going on over the Rhine, and it usually is focused on some of the bigger developers there. You think of 3CDC, you think of the Model Group and the big Finley Market project they're doing there, you think of Urban Sites. And I know that there are smaller developers there, and I know there are people doing interesting smaller projects, and I wanted to kind of take a look at how you do that, what their stories were, why they wanted to do this. This is hard stuff, rehabbing these historic buildings.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that you ticked off some of the names of the developers that we know about, and there is this idea out there that we've heard it, that you have to be in one of those groups to even do any of this.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case. What is it about these small developers you think that has allowed them to get involved?
Well, you know, they kind of vary, right? They range from novices, people who kind of come in off the street, but they're passionate about Over the Rhine, they want to be involved, to, you know, smaller guys who have maybe rehabbed some single-family homes or whatever, and that's basically their business.
Yeah.
And so the story talks to both of those. And one of the interesting things is that these bigger developers, they don't always use all the property that they have. They may develop a block but leave a building behind or whatever, and that's a place where a smaller developer can scoop that up, make an investment, do the hard work, and get something done there.
So that's a good reason to have a small developer, to take these little pieces and fill them in. But why are some other reasons why it's important to begin with to have small developers interested in redeveloping it Over the Rhine?
People who have done this say it's important to maintain the kind of culture and the I don't know, the atmosphere of Over the Rhine, to have smaller people come in who, you know, maybe aren't as corporatized in their way of doing business, to have small businesses that bring relationships with smaller entrepreneurs. That's key to keeping Over the Rhine with the character that people seem to like about it today.
Last question for you, and this is sort of a more broad question, but it's something that I think it's good to have perspective on. Where are we in the redevelopment of Over the Rhine? Are we on a scale from 1 to 10? Are we at 2, 3, 4? Where are we? You know, you drive through that neighborhood,
right.
Some streets are wonderful and some aren't.
My opinion of it, I suppose, is that I think we're probably about a 5 or a 6. There's a lot that's been done south of Liberty, mostly, you know, 3CDC driving the train there. North of Liberty is a different story. There's a lot more to be done there. I've heard people say 80 to 90% of it is still kind of needs to be done. So there's a lot of opportunities still there, and we're going to see a lot of changes in the years to come.
Yeah, and a lot of opportunities for small developers as well. Please read Chris's story. Did a great job on it, and it's definitely worth your time. And back to you.
All right, thanks, Rob and Chris.